Hello and welcome to Down by the Gram on Cam with me, the Grandmaster Kush, talking all things Amsterdam, coffee shops and everything for the cannabis community. Joining me as always, I have my co-host, the Fairy Fairy.
Hello, hello.
Another wet and miserable day out there again today.
It's a happy day for a podcast.
Yeah,
I don't mind being here.
So joined us in the studio this week, we have Life by Nyke and Stay Hungry. How are you?
Hello.
Thank you so much for joining us. And before we get started, we have a word for our sponsor, 21 by 20, Life Summed Up. So you got a beanie last time, so I'm going to give you a snapback this time. And you can pick between a snapback or a beanie.
I would like to take a beanie.
No problem.
The beanies, I love that beanie.
I wanted to buy a hat here for the rain, and now I have one. I'm glad that I didn't bought one.
It brought me through the cold Dutch winter.
The winter, yeah. So nice. 21 by 20, Life Summed Up. They're not on general sale. They're just for the smoking elite of high society. But if you want your chance to win one, you can like and share this video to your Facebook or Instagram, and comment underneath what 21 multiplied by 20 equals, and we'll send out a hat to the winner.
So you gotta do some math, huh?
Yeah, that's it. You gotta make them earn it. So we asked you 4 questions, 20 seconds last time. So Stay Hungry will ask you just to see what kind of smoker you are. So weed or hash?
Weed.
Sativa or indica?
Sativa and pure.
Okay. And rolled or in bowls?
Rolled.
And what was the first coffee shop you ever smoked in?
The first coffee shop I ever smoked in was in Venlo, nobody's place, because I'm from Düsseldorf and we have a train directly driving to Venlo.
Okay.
So we always get lost there when we get 18.
Where's that? The border of Netherlands?
Yeah.
What's it called again?
Venlo.
Is that the city?
Yeah.
Okay, I've never even heard of it. Okay. Do you remember the name of the coffee shop in there?
In Nobody's Place.
Nobody's Place.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. No,
it's
definitely.
like if you ask people in Düsseldorf, everybody knows the place there.
Okay. Yeah.
That's the go-to.
This is just over the border.
And I think the first one in Amsterdam was Greenhouse.
Okay, nice. The one beside the Grand Hotel, the main greenhouse. Oh no.
Yeah, in the Red Light District.
Yeah. The Greenhouse Effect or the Greenhouse? There's 2 different shops.
The Greenhouse.
The one beside the Grand Hotel.
Greenhouse,
Greenhouse.
Okay, yeah, no.
From the seats and everything. The one out the Greenhouse. Sorry.
Yeah, no, for sure.
No,
there's a lot of, because there's green on the one street you've got Greenhouse Effect, Green Place, and then Greenhouse around the corner. So a lot of people are just like green something. You know what I mean?
Everything is green. Everything is green. It's a green deal.
Yeah.
So tell us all about life in Germany since legalization.
Your weed is legal, eh?
Yeah, congratulations.
Yes.
Well, honestly, and I'll also tell it in the comments. Who would have thought it? That Germany after all would lead the way.
Yes.
On one side, yes, because they're like so good and everything that's like around bureaucracy and setting up new rules and so in that kind of sense, yes, Germany. Although there's a lot to do still with what's going on.
You're in the right direction.
People to do it.
Yeah.
Everyone always says the Germans do things right.
Exactly.
Yes, it's proper. It's done.
They need longer, but then it's from A to Z. Every question is an answer.
Yeah, that's it.
And they also gave the best stuff for the legalization. And I must say, I think it's like a big domino that's not falling. And
it's going to have ripples.
I hope it's such a positive effect on Europe and then after all also the world.
Yeah.
But they, and in a kind of sense, they really did it the right way, because there was medical weed, there was CBD, opening up the way to have it more in society as decriminalized, legalized substance.
So nobody got a shock to the system today. It was legal. Like, what the fuck is all this?
It's a nice way, I suppose, for even them people that were kind of like against it or still find cannabis taboo. Yeah. To slowly do it in that way, so they can kind of feel it without being
dip their toe in the water to see what it's like. It's not so bad. What's the other stuff like?
And I think it's so important, obviously also the medical side and the CBD side, but also to look like holistically at the plant. And I think that's what we're opening up now, to look at everything that cannabis has to offer, and also be like, we can use it in nutrients. We can make like nice clothing out of this. Like this can be the answer.
It's a one-stop shop, you know what I mean? It does everything from clothes, textiles, paper, oils, everything. You know what I mean?
The thing is, we wouldn't be here where we are today in our society if it wasn't for hemp.
No.
we wouldn't have the ropes, we wouldn't have the sails.
Yeah.
Like
so the what's it? The Declaration of Independence.
Yeah, exactly.
The American Declaration of Independence is wrote on hemp paper.
You had
they were hemp farmers. George Washington was a hemp farmer. You know what I mean? So they literally wrote it on hemp paper. So like the new world was started with hemp. You know what I mean?
There was times when you had to have hemp in the US, if I'm quite correct, and it was like, you have to grow hemp because we need it.
As a farmer, part of your land would have had to be
dedicated.
Percentage.
I mean, I would have to Google it up, but there was like parts where it said, okay, you have to grow hemp.
You have to contribute to the hemp we need to supply. Like that's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I didn't.
To see how it's changed.
And then in the last 100 years, they're like, no, that's bad. Stop it. You know what I mean? Thousands of years, plants done so much, and then they're like, no. Stop that, put everybody in jail. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
They will just shut up talking about it if you just put them in jail. It's just like, we're in their lives. And that's also a very, very important thing that we shouldn't forget when it becomes more and more legal, that there's so many people who suffered for cannabis, who still suffer for cannabis, whose lives were ruined, not because of cannabis, but because of the rules around it.
Being made criminals for having cannabis.
Exactly. So our legalization and our freedom wouldn't be here without the underground.
People
100%.
that kept having the guts and the passion,
the martyrs,
to keep going,
willing to put their lives online, not by dying, but they could lose their livelihood, lose their jobs, lose everything, but still willing to fight for the cause that they believed in. You know what I mean? And we definitely wouldn't be here if it wasn't for all them people. If, as you said, if they went to jail and stopped talking, then the government's like, right, that worked. You know what I mean? No more weed, where everyone's still talking, still advocating for it. So that's why we're here today. So. But the fight's not over because it's only a few countries that have legalized it.
So much work to be done. There's so much work to be done.
Also in Netherlands, it's also like in many coffee shops, it's a lack of education or like awareness. Or also what we try to work out in Germany is also important for our neighbors, right? Because here's also White West. And
it's going to be people going over the border to Germany still. You know what I mean? Doing the Germany run.
I think it's because we came, like, Netherlands was, like, it's kind of still, like, black market-ish, even through the coffee shops.
They're still in the laws they made in the 80s.
They're not in the position, like, you have kind of done it in such a beautiful way that you started with medicinal CBD, you're easing it in. I think they're kind of, it's so much there that they don't know how to deal with it. So I'm hoping from Germany setting kind of like a plan of being like, this is how you can do it,
done right,
and that it is safe.
Fuck your experiments.
Pretty much though. I think I'm hoping that from Germany you can have that effect even for the Netherlands, because there's always these fears of like the coffee shops closing, or like there's more taboo on being able to smoke in certain places. I'm hoping with Germany it'll like ease that.
I know it
sorry to bring up bad news, but basically, like, you're more freer here for smoking. Like in Germany, they put
it's 8 o'clock or something. You can't smoke.
So there's rules. There's rules in Germany. So you have like this kind of rule that you can smoke. Except 100 meters from schools, anything childish, so playgrounds, whatever. So everything related to kids. And then you can not smoke in what they call Fußgängerzones, where you like walk. I don't know the English word for this.
Footpath?
Footpath, for the footpath.
The
footpath is the one that's just like, I think, between 8 in the evening and 7 in the morning.
You can smoke.
And then and then every other spot that's not besides some child playground, whatever, or a footpath, you're allowed to smoke.
Okay, 24/7.
But not next to a kid. Not next to a kid. Not next to a kid.
Medical patient, the rules are also different.
Medical. Unfortunately, it's at the moment it's the same. So it wasn't the same. So as a medical patient, that's the funny part.
So it's got harder for medical patients.
Exactly. Well, it got harder in a kind of sense for everyone, because before that if you're like smoking on site, you just didn't care. Probably also you don't care. Exactly. And probably also now you don't care, but it's like for example in the Münchner It's a park. Yeah, it's a park in Munich. And before, it's like you can surf there and stuff. And obviously there were people who were smoking. I was smoking there too once before. Now it's strictly forbidden.
No way.
No, it's strictly forbidden. So basically what you did back then in a kind of like, oh, well, yeah, it's not so good, is now like, fine. We're going to find your fucking ass. We're going to look for you and we're going to find it.
And are they giving out fines quickly?
Well, that's a good question. I didn't try myself.
Yeah. Have you heard any stories? Are they enforcing these kind of?
Yeah, the thing is in Bavaria is also the politicians, they are also like really strict against cannabis, and they also didn't want the legalization, so they are now threatening with high punishments, but I don't know if they really does it, like with thousands of euro for something. And you also got in front of the court if they found you before the legalization with 0.5 something like this, so they're super strict there, and even the legalization makes it now, I guess, really hard for the people there to smoke or to just live their life in peace, what we want to do with it.
Of course, that's why we legalized it.
There's this joke like in Bavaria that also basically you're not allowed to open a social club, which is also not that so much social, but we can talk about that in a second. But you're only allowed not to open it besides a playground, kids, whatever again. So there's this joke that wherever you open a social club in Bavaria, they would just put a playground or anything besides it. I think
you mentioned that last time, that they were putting in more playgrounds to prevent the opening. Remember, I think you mentioned that in the last one, because when you said they're putting in more playgrounds, we're like, oh, that's good. Like, no, this is to stop cannabis clubs. We're like, oh, fuck.
Now they care about the kids. Yeah. You know what I mean? Now you're putting in effort for the kids.
That's crazy. But what's the legalization, like, possession-wise, grow-wise?
Because you're allowed tree plants. That's what I'm loving.
The growing is beautiful.
Over the last while, so many Germans have come up and been like, this is my first legal grow. And you're like, wow, that's beautiful. The peace of mind. That I think is lovely. That you're just able to tend to your girls and be like, yes.
Yeah.
So you now grow tree plants indoors, outdoors, whatever way you want.
You have to have them in a secured area.
Okay.
So, people,
not in your front garden, like.
Exactly. So people shouldn't be able to access it.
Yeah.
And then you can grow 3 plants at the same time.
Okay.
You're only allowed to have at home 50 grams
of dried material.
Material.
So what way does that work when your 3 plants have come to bloom?
I don't know. They don't.
Just don't try it all at once.
Don't grow them all at once. Grow them in cycles. Like
this is what happens when this is what happens when uneducated people make rules on stuff they don't know about. You know what I mean? Like 3 plants, 50 grams. Like that doesn't add up. You know what I mean? Like
when it comes to clones, I think it's like you can even have like 5 little clones at home, and you can buy 7 seeds, something like that. So yeah, it is a big step. It is a big step, and I'm more than happy. And until the last little second, we weren't sure if it's gonna happen.
Yeah, I heard people were doubting it right up till the end.
Yeah, because the government was basically saying, "Hey, we can still," not the government, but there were like news about they could still like vote in another thing against it, and it was like 3 days before the legalization should have come. So like also for companies, for everyone, it's like, how do you prepare for something
that's
like
it.
That?
You want to be ready on day one, but you don't want to waste all your money if there is no day one.
And then big day since the 1st of July.
I'd say so.
It's
a different country now.
Yeah, they are allowed to. They are now also allowed since July to open up social clubs. Also, not that easy. Because you have to get a go from like a governmental spot. So they have to allow you to do this, and so.
Has many opened up since?
They are opening up now that they get to go. So it's really since the 1st of July they were just allowed to like put in the papers and everything. So
beautiful. That's exciting.
Do you know if it will be restricted to only Germans or German residents?
Yes, German residents.
Okay, so we couldn't just pop up for the day.
And you can also go in one shop. You can also be only in one shop, like registered.
You can be a member of one shop.
And they want to have all information what you buy and when and. So it's like
proper
really,
regulated.
Really, So, and they also have a really, I heard about this, I'm not sure if this is true, Nyke, but they also have a really high security level, like with Tresor, with like really big walls
like
this to secure the growth.
It's not just a normal little cafe or a shop or something?
I'm not that kind of sure, but I can imagine, because in the medical sector it was the similar when they started.
That's not a nice energy to walk into.
It makes you feel like you're
just, you also just, you can just walk in and buy. That's it. And then you just, I mean, like, as a member, you can only walk in, buy, and then you have to leave. Yeah. You're not allowed to stay there. You're not allowed to, like, chill with others.
Socialize or anything.
Well, it's a growing club.
Yeah, but it's more of a dispensary. It's not. When I heard club, I thought Spain. I thought you become a member, you buy your stuff, you sit in, you smoke.
You wish, we all wish.
That's what we need. That's the thing about cannabis is we can all go and smoke a joint and sit on our couch at home, but the difference between that and being with people is so different.
Oh, it's 100%.
The social
and we also don't want to smoke in front of the schools or the playgrounds. We want to have like
why should you do that?
We want to meet in nice rooms to come together. We're not interested in.
No, stoners are pretty respectful.
Yeah.
They're quite like. Even especially like through Amsterdam, there's like you can smoke everywhere. But everyone, whenever like we're asked, can you smoke everywhere? Yeah, except just not around like schools, playgrounds. Just be respectful.
Respectful of families and kids and that.
Which I think is just the general rule of life. You know what I mean?
It should be standard practice for everyone.
Like we need to implement laws. No, should people not?
What you mean I can't smoke in front of the kids? I'm going home. This is bullshit. That's what I came here for. You know what I mean? Like standard stuff. Don't be an idiot. Is the rules like? But so if a club opened now, like let's say July 1st, the club opened, let's say they got the paperwork in, they open in 2 weeks, so they open tomorrow. If they sell any weed now, that weed was grown illegally because it's only been legal for 2 months.
Yeah, they cannot sell any. Like when they get their go that they can.
So they can only start growing then.
Then they start growing.
Okay.
So I think like first grow.
So it'd be nearly Christmas before any dispensaries are giving out.
October, November, something like that.
That's why you also have to write in Düsseldorf on the street to say, I don't know where my weed comes from. If the police ask you, you have to write like to leave this information out because right now half of it is of course not your own legal grow.
So you're in the grey area in between.
That's why you better say that. I don't know. I forgot.
That's it. It's now legal, but what was grown was not legally grown, so it's kind of a loophole. It's mental.
So you have like a huge rise on the medical side also. There's new rules there that it's like, it's not a scheduled drug anymore, so doctors can like prescribe it as easily as, for example, an ibuprofen.
Oh, nice. So you don't need to go to a big consultation and all this.
And under the right circumstances. But people again need education, that you can also see that so many people are opening up to it. Like even my mom, she was like, well, okay, let's grow. I can grow it next to the tomatoes, right?
That's amazing.
So people
it's mad how some people, their brain literally goes, no, I can't do that, and then someone goes, oh, it's legal. Like, oh, I can do that. You know what I mean? They won't even. The brain won't let them even think of doing something that's not allowed. You know what I mean? But we're like, we can do it, but we will. You know what I mean?
It's so stupid, eh?
Because and then once it's legal, people are like, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, it's like there's just like it's like a wall that just
just
wasn't
that
there.
Door opened,
but then suddenly everyone was like, oh yeah, I can cross this line.
There's a little rope, and everyone's like, come over here. Like, I can't. There's a rope here. Like, step over the rope. It's fine. You know what I mean? But now the rope's gone. Everyone's just like, let's try everything. You know what I mean? But I've heard about that in like Canada and all these places where everyone's like, oh, the drugs are bad, and they're like, oh, we're legally allowed to do this. I'll try an edible. I'll try a vape and all. You know what I mean? And no, it's good as well, but it's crazy how it takes that. You know what I mean? Nobody will even let me try that, and they make their mind up for themselves. This isn't bad. This isn't harmful at all. You know what I mean? They're all
cannabis is good.
I've been told this is bad. I am not doing this. You know what I mean? Think for yourself. Try it. See. You know what I mean? It's just because.
I think that's what cannabis like kind of helps you to do.
That's why in the 60s all the hippies would start going, wait, what's starting this war? You know what I mean? All this shit. Everyone else like, let's do what the government says. And then all the hippies start smoking weed and eating mushrooms, going, wait a minute. Is this how we should be living life? You know what I mean? This doesn't seem like the right way to be doing shit.
Everyone just calm down a little.
And then the government's like, fuck, they're asking questions there. What are we going to do? Clamp down, war on drugs, go.
Literally.
Yeah. Just keep giving them alcohol, that'll keep them quiet, you know what I mean? That's legal, do that, okay. Like
and make them obese with sugar and.
I mean, other harmful drugs like
everything has its place in society, and like alcohol, like sugar, and all these kind of things. And they should also stay legal, yes. But also there we need education, like just education.
Everyone's afraid of weed, and no one's afraid of fucking alcohol or sugar and all this. You know what I mean? The stuff that's killing millions. I was like, oh no, like weed is never
so normal,
reported.
you know. In Germany, you can start drinking beer latest with 13 if your parents are, you know.
We're Irish, we know exactly what it's like.
If you live then more like on the country, you're weird if you don't get full as drunk with 14.
Oh yeah, by 12 we were drinking every weekend, like you know what I mean. It's
driving the tractor.
By 14, 15, I was starting to get served in bars. By 15, I was in bars every week. You know what I mean? So that's what it was like in Ireland.
It's bad. Whereas you would, like anyone, even like in the coffee shop, sometimes I'll see like a couple like my parents' age, and I do ask them, what would you prefer your kids to come home drunk or stoned? And it's always stoned.
Of course.
Even if they're not big smokers, you know what I mean? They're just trying it because they're on holiday.
I've seen the thing as well, more young women are smoking weed than more young men, which is good. If I had a daughter, I'd definitely want her to be a stoner.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The thoughts of my daughter out drunk somewhere would kill me. My son would be like, you might get a fight or something. You know what I mean?
Drunk nights, that's like regrets.
Oh, that's it. How many stone nights have you had regret? No.
Maybe just ate too much.
I wanted to say the munchies. Like, oh my gosh, did I really eat that? Like, that cannot be good.
The worst thing
that's the lesser of two evils for sure. You know what I mean? Waking up, go, what did I do last night? You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
The worst hangover the next day is being super tired or still a little bit stoned.
The stone over, that's it.
My hangovers from alcohol were the worst.
Hell
because I have a really sensitive body, like Jesus Christ. When you wake up and you think like, how could I even drink so much? You know? But I mean, like, how was this possible?
No, not good.
But people go out, ruin their lives, have hangovers, and still doesn't put them off alcohol. They'll still go out and do it the next week. People have one whitey or one bad experience with like, that stuff's the devil, I'm never doing that again. I'm like, you've literally like destroyed every relationship and every job you've had because of alcohol, and you've one whitey and you're like, no, weed's no good, I'm gonna go for a drink now. You know what I mean? They never learn with alcohol. With weed, they learn the first time. It's like, nope, never trying that again. It's crazy. Like,
but we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there if people like learn more, get more education, understand the whitey.
Who we rate them though last week, wasn't he, in Thailand? That's one thing they're trying to do, is do proper training for the staff. If someone takes a whitey, they're actually going to, like he said, it's going to be like lifeguard training, which is, you know what I mean, health and safety or first aid. This is what you do when someone pulls a whitey, because it's a basic.
It's that like all of the social clubs at all times need to have someone on.
Yeah, it's like a designated health and safety officer kind of like, which is good. Like coffee shops here, you have to have a registered bud tender at all time. So if he had the same cert as just one guy with, he's a registered bud tender and he's got the medical thing, you know what I mean? So because
it's even, I think, before the whitey comes, I think explaining to people, okay, this is what happens. You might get a bit like lightheaded, a bit chill. If this is what it is. So I think they're
then
even mentally scared.
And if you can spot it early, like sometimes I see someone and go, you feel that right? Like, no, I'm like, here, have that. And then you catch them before they pass out, before it gets too bad. You know what I mean? You just see the white in their face, they're just like that, and you're just like, here, drink that sugar tablet, you know what I mean? And sometimes they bounce back if you catch them right. Other times there are people sitting outside for like 5 hours, you know what I mean? They just can't get their life back together. It's crazy.
All they need is a good night's sleep.
Yeah, that's it as well.
All I say is usually the people that have the whiteys in the coffee shops are
just
the ones that come on holidays and they've been working and wired and that, then they come on holidays, they smoke a joint, whoa. And I'm like, okay, you actually need to go to the hotel and sleep for 4 days. That's the best thing you can do on this holiday.
And it's also your body telling you. And I think what's very, very important, and note that, guys, that it's not like you're not a loser if you're having a white out, or it's not. It can happen to experienced smokers, to medical patients. It can happen when you have a high tolerance. Your sugar is not right. It can happen when you're in stress. For females, our body changes with hormones. Like on some days we're just like, you know, and it can have so many reasons. And it can, for example, be just emotional. You know, like what you if you're like completely emotionally down and you smoke the same, then it can get you differently. So So never be ashamed if you feel this, and just talk openly about this. We need to educate about whiteouts, greenouts.
But that's why
it usually makes you more comfortable. I remember when I was younger, like one of my main people I smoked with, they always told me that if ever you are really stoned, just say it to the room. Like, I'm stoned. I'm 9 times out of 10, everyone like, me too.
And even that will make you feel better.
You're like, okay, we're all here. Okay.
I'm not the only one dying over here. Like.
It just brings that level back up. Just say it out loud, because most people are. You know what I mean? We're all smoking here together.
Everyone's freaking out going, oh my God, they're all fine. I'm not. Well, you were saying about people who need to sleep. We had, I think it was an American guy, and he came in. I can't remember the whole story, but he was talking about how fucked he was, bollocks from jet lag. And he goes, is this strong or something? Next thing, his missus calls me about an hour later, and he's like that upstairs. Go up, I'm like, slap him in the face, try and wake him. No, I was like, put some water in his face. An hour she was trying to wake this guy up. You could hear, she's like freaking out. We need an ambulance. It's like, he's grand. You can hear him snoring. Eventually she did call an ambulance. He still wouldn't wake up because the Joker stairs are so tight. They had to put him in an inflatable stretcher, like around his neck, and then like slide him down the stairs and then get him out the thing. And the couple was just sleep the whole time, like, you know what I mean?
Like, I'm a deep sleeper. A deep sleeper, man. I'd sleep through anything, so I'd be like him if I had a proper idea.
Like the miss, I'm like slapping, she's down at that throwing water, slapping him, everything. The guts are soaked, just getting battered on the floor. No movement. And he was a big guy, you know what I mean? A big American guy. And sliding down the stairs, put him onto the stretcher, take him out.
So when did he wake up?
I don't know. They took him off. I never seen him again. So I'm sure he was fine though. You know what I mean? Like, but that was the worst of. Like, we've had a few bad ones, but that was the for the most just not waking up. You know what I mean? I had another guy wake up and just freak out. I think he was like had multiple personalities. His missus told us. So he started like screaming, and he started swallowing his tongue and having fits, and it was crazy.
Wow.
They eventually, like, you know, the hosts, the people in the red that come around, they came in to help. Then they go, we're going to get an ambulance. They went outside, then the ambulance came, and I'm like, I said to the woman, oh, do you want to take him outside to the ambulance? Because they said they couldn't come into the coffee shop. I sent them outside. 2 minutes later, they come back in. The ambulance says, oh, it's not safe for us to be with him without police. He has to wait in here. I was like, I'm a bud tender. Use an ambulance and fucking host and all this shit. He's safer with you than he is in a coffee shop, you know what I mean, having a freak out. So they've surrounded my whole coffee shop so nobody can come in and come out. There's all these red hosts and an ambulance blocking the door. This guy's stuck inside with his missus. They can't leave. So she's trying to keep him calm. They're slow dancing in the middle of the floor. And I'm just sitting there smoking a joint going, what's happening right now? You know what I mean? It was literally, it was like the end of a movie. They were surrounded, you know what I mean? I was just waiting on somebody just to snipe him out because he was going crazy. Eventually the police came and they took him off. I don't know what happened then, but it was like about an hour where this guy was just freaking out and just like, remember, he just went like that and then started screaming like something out of a movie. I was like, this is mental.
Exorcism.
Yeah, then started swallowing his tongue. Jay was there, had to pull his tongue out of his mouth and all this. It was crazy.
Wow.
That was the worst one I ever had, for sure.
But that's, as you said, someone with like multiple.
Yeah, he said he's on medication. We're like, for what? He's like, oh, he's got schizophrenia or something like that. We're like, okay,
then
this
you
is
shouldn't. No, you shouldn't consume cannabis, but you really need to be smart about
and what you're taking and what you're smoking.
Maybe not go to THC. Consume something like CBD or something.
Don't just go buy a random pre-roll to go, this should work. You know what I mean? Like, it's,
if you're aware and you understand about your mental health and that you have something of that sort, don't willingly consume
100%.
cannabis.
THC is not for everyone.
No.
Cannabis is not for everyone.
No.
Like there's like
psychoactive, right? It's like it's still an effect.
Yeah, no, 100%. That's the people who do have a bad effect usually have an underlying health condition. You know what I mean? It's not. It doesn't make you go crazier, but if you have something, it can trigger that. You know what I mean? So
they also don't consume for their needs. For example, if you say like look for CBD, or if you really then know
something
how your
help
body works,
what you have.
and what you need for maybe medical strains, or I don't know for your things, for your body, then it can work out. But it's
we're not there yet. We're not there yet. We have like 100 of years where it was forbidden, and it was like, I think it was in the 80s or 90s, end of 80s, when they just discovered THC. So, like, you know, like it's like we need so much more studies around all the cannabinoids. It's amazing how much
they've discovered while it was illegal. Like how much medical benefits they've discovered while an illegal plant was being tested. Now that it's legal and everyone can test it and everyone can see the benefits, they're going to learn so much more about it. You know what I mean? Like if they've learned all this underground, now that every lab in the world can, like even places that aren't legal, can still most of them have CBD or some sort of medical. So I'd say they're going to figure out a lot more shit that it can do. Like,
yeah. I mean, there's so much going on also in the German market in a study and science field. So I'm really waiting for example, the study about the runner's high. That was a German university, I think actually Hamburg, who discovered that the runner's high is like also plays your cannabinoids, and you get anandamide from it, like basically THC. So that's why the runner's high is like the high. It can assimilate to the high, and your body does it
high, but I didn't know
normally.
So it's actually
a natural stone, like
THC or cannabinoid into your system.
Yeah.
So that's why they're running all the time. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Free stone.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Okay.
I don't know if we're going to start running anytime soon.
So we're going to go run now, guys.
We'll take the camera with us.
Yeah, we're going to go. Well, we cycle that. I love cycling. But that's interesting.
Yeah, like I've always heard of a runner's high, but I just thought that was just a buzz off exercise. You know what I mean? Your heart rate and all this shit. That's crazy.
Well, as that's happening, it's releasing
your natural cannabinoid receptors are fucking.
So does that? So. Oh my God.
Get your running shoes on.
But that means there's more ways in which your body.
Yeah,
can
definitely.
also,
Definitely.
Like, that.
Well, you have the endocannabinoid system, and you have your endocannabinoids because your body needs it.
Yeah.
Like it's a crucial role in your immune system, even in your bones growing, in you just basically being healthy.
Yeah.
And that's the fact that it's like. It wasn't really taught in universities to doctors, you know.
Yeah.
So now they are like, oh well, okay, we have that. Yeah, we were talking about this, but just like like for 1 or 2 hours. But it has a major role in your body, and we have these. We are making cannabinoids that are like kind of cannabinoids that are like THC and CBD, and that's why we have the receptors, and that's why we can react to them, and it's important.
It's mad to think that in a few years the doctors will have like another chapter on CBD. You know what I mean? They've had like blood, like bones, all the different types of the body you have to learn about. Now there's going to be a chapter on cannabinoids. You know, the cannabinoid receptors and all this.
Yeah.
I'd say a lot more other chapters will start falling off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Once cannabis comes in,
then there'll be the mushroom fucking.
No, but more and we don't need all the other shit.
Oh yeah, that's
and there's so many people that fight with addiction, but another kind of addiction, may it be alcohol or whatever. That say, okay, through cannabis, I found a way better solution for myself to be a better person. Like, yes, I'm still addicted in a kind of sense, but it's so better. And that's also super important. Also, if you like, you talk to psychologists and all these kind of doctors that are in that field to understand. Hey, it's not the starting. It might be the ending of suffering.
Yeah, no, that's it. It's not the gateway. It's the way out. You know what I mean? The exit drug.
Yeah,
very much.
To get off the other shit. Now I hear of so many people that give up drugs and all. I still smoke weed. You know what I mean? Because that's it. It just keeps them nice, calm, relaxed. They still have something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they were looking for something with their addiction, obviously. And cannabis can like fill that hole in a kind of better way.
Yeah, some people need.
Not some people. Everybody has something.
A vice where
in life. Be it anything, your tea, your coffee.
Yeah, you're into art, you're into fucking golf, anything, you know what I mean?
And I don't think it's
running.
too bad.
Running, a new hobby.
Some people are addicted.
Influence are stoned out their head running around.
Just running clothes.
Plus at the end of a marathon, just like that. They're not even tired, they're just stoned. They're like, fucking hell.
The wobbly leg. That's the whitey.
When you finish the marathon, pull the whitey halfway through. I was fucked. That's hilarious.
Wow.
Yeah,
no, very interesting, really interesting. That's like opened up my brain. I'm like,
I'm running.
No.
You see fairy jogging around the city.
You know what?
You have to read up more about it. It's so fascinating. I can really just tell it to everyone, read more about cannabis, read more about hemp. Once you're in there and you understand what this plant can do, it will baffle your mind. And even if you're like completely against it, at least hemp will win your heart.
No, for sure. Even without the high, everything else it does, you know what I mean? If you can't appreciate that, you know what I mean, you're dead inside, because it can do everything, from building to fucking clothes.
Well, all you come from the plastic industry.
Yeah, you know? You can make hemp plastic, can't you?
Oh, for the frabber.
I don't understand why hemp straws aren't the new straws. You know what I mean? All this paper bullshit makes...
I think it's we need the machines, eh?
Yeah.
We need the machines, and we need the technology, and we need to get there and invest in it.
Yeah, big time. It has started big in Ireland, hemp farming. Over the west of Ireland, there's like a lot of the farmers switch from like agriculture to like hemp, so it's quite like it's a nice like change.
What are they using it for?
I think a lot of hemp concrete. That's mainly what it's going towards. And I think a lot of people in Ireland, there's like a lot of have like moved out of the cities to buy land, and I think a lot of people are building their own, so I'm hoping it's going in that way.
I just imagine like a cannabis hater, like, you know, like really hating cannabis and not knowing that the house that they live in is like it's like with hemp, isolated with hemp. And
I hate that weed.
I hate that weed.
Surrounded by it, encased in it.
Oh, that would be beautiful.
But just even think of like newspapers, books, everything, like deforestation's ended straight away, you know what I mean? The clothes, cardboard, all that stuff, it's crazy how much you can do and why it's not doing it. You know
differently.
It's growing like shit in the end, right?
It's
like in Germany we call it
it's a weed, literally it will grow, you know what I mean? Try and stop it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's not even like it would be really rare to get it, or, you know?
Yeah, it's not even hard effort, you know what I mean? It's just leave it there and it will just keep growing and growing, you know what I mean? Especially if you don't want the flower off it, you don't care how it grows then, just let it fucking grow and then harvest it.
I have a beautiful Hermie house plant, and I love it. I love it.
What's a Hermie?
Yeah, well, a Hermie, it's half male and half female. It's just chilling. It's just chilling. It's my homie, and I love it. And I really want to say, like, appreciate Hermies more if you can have them at home without, you know, like without having all the. Without getting
so
into
you
your
can just have that in your window like a normal plant?
Yeah, it's like this big and it's doing little seeds and it smells horrible.
Thought it was going to be like a weed air freshener.
It's like half making like these flowers it's trying and the seeds and everything, and you know, I just like I really didn't I just planted it and I really didn't care. I was just like, yeah, just grow it, let's see what this experiment goes. So basically I found a seed. I was like, I have no idea what it is, let's see. But yeah, it makes a nice house plant.
Yeah, for sure.
Very sweet.
I think that's the only way I can keep a house plant alive. It was a weed plant that was worth it, you know what I mean? I got them ones from the pottery knife from the fairy house and they died within a week. They were just gone. I was trying to warn them and just no. Yeah, not for me. Keeping a dog alive is hard enough. Plants, fuck that. But tell us more about your edibles while we're here. We don't just talk about Germany.
Oh, yeah, that's why I basically am here, not in Germany. Because in
it's
Germany
good to have
it's
two Germans to hear about it, but might as well stay hungry while we're here.
Yeah, I also brought you something to try.
Nice.
We won the Jack Herer Cup in Berlin this year.
Oh, nice.
We entered together with the Happy Smile coffee shop in Den Haag.
Nice.
With some really nice flowers, and we made chocolate flower filled with mousse and everything, like a cake. And yes, after this I thought, like, why don't make cookies here then, you know? For example, now in Den Haag, like Den Haag rules, because they had a rule changement in November.
They've gone backwards as well now.
Yeah, because like it was November, December, like children ate a bag of chips of 400 milligrams.
Oh, and, for fuck's sake. Yeah,
it was not secured or labeled, and I think it's also a parent's responsibility to put the stuff away.
Yeah, of course.
But then they said, like, okay, now again only cakes and cookies. I think same in Amsterdam.
Like if a kid got a bottle of vodka and drank it, they wouldn't stop selling vodka. You know what I mean? Like,
and the thing is, if it drank a bottle of vodka, it would be dead.
Oh yeah, that's it. They have the edibles just going to sleep for a long time.
Yeah,
you know
I think they went to hospital and pumped it out. Something like this.
But even at that, like, again, it's the parents' fault. Do you know what I mean? If he gets a knife and cuts himself, it's the parents' fault. Do you know what I mean? Why is it suddenly the weed's fault this one time?
Yeah, on the other side, maybe we should just not stop, but it's like, you see the market with like so much high THC milligrams. We're just talking about it, about super high dosages. So, well, most of the people will not need 400 milligram. 50 milligram will be enough. 20 milligram will be enough.
For 10, us, we need 1,000. You know what I mean? For me, I'm the opposite. I want the stronger ones.
I'm completely different. I need like the 20 milligrams, and then I see, and like from 50, 100, I can go sleep. 100, I will go sleep. Like I guarantee you.
We have a friend that makes edibles. She dabs all day, and she says 50 is her limit. And we're like, that's crazy to us. You know what I mean? Like for us, 50 is just like eating an M&M. You know what I mean? It's not even
that's fine for me. But it's also like different organisms and everything. So, well, like maybe just like. Also, again, educate, right, on the
definitely
boxes.
Need to be well labelled. You know what I mean? Like medicine or whatever.
From edibles. This is my tip.
Like,
and make them so fancy and colourful and stuff.
And cut your ego back. If you know, like if you eat the first time, you also don't have to try 200 milligram at once.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? Like, there's always like.
And again, it ruins it for them. Then they never do it again because they had that one bad experience.
I still remember, like my first edible I made. I gave it then to my plug, where I got the flowers from, and I gave him like 4 cake pops, and I was like, eat only 2. And then the next time I saw him, I was like, how are the cake pops? He was like, I ate them all. I was so fucked up. It was quite fun. Then I was like, give him 2 next time, not 4. Like give him the ratio. It was like him. And I mean for him it was not bad, but this is also not the effect what I want to have. Like because if I don't know somebody and I bring you something to try, it's like 10 milligram or something. Because it's just for the taste.
Yeah, for sure.
A little tingle in the head maybe. But I don't want to be the person that fucks you up, like especially if I don't know you.
No, 100%.
Friends fuck each other up. Take it. If you want to get wild. But that's also the same with like education or be aware of this, like to really have respect from edibles because it's also different.
It's different for sure. Definitely.
Like
it all comes at one time, you know what I mean?
I still feel it the next day if I eat a lot of
because definitely.
the body's just slower.
I always say it's like gravity is dialed up here.
Also
heavier.
your tummy
it is
pumped a lot like munchies, and
your body takes it up differently. So with smoking, it's with your lungs, and with eating, it's your liver, and your liver.
That's why it's always a body high when you eat. You never really get that sativa high from edibles.
The Schleimhäute here, like your tummy too. Like my tummy is always a little bit
off the next day.
It's just like
that's how you know they're good edibles.
But I bring you something to try.
I want to try.
They have 50 milligram. I made them for the 710, so that's why they now with rosin.
Okay, perfect.
Of course. But usually I make them here for the shops with plants, with a little bit of rest inside, like really the tolerated room.
Of course, you have to play ball. Like,
it gives peace of mind. It's good.
For sure.
Now, for tourists, it is like that's fine for tourists, 100%. Do you know what I mean? In my shop, we have 0.3, so I tell them it's medium strong, good for beginners.
This is something like 50 milligram, I guess, like 0.3.
No, 0.3 would be like 5 or 10 milligrams, I think, of cannabis butter.
Yeah, but if you
milligrams are much stronger.
It's for the flour, right? How much flour you use?
0.3.
But if you have like a flour with 15% or something like this, the half of it is already 75 milligram then.
Okay.
So, like 1 gram would have 150 milligram if you if you get 100%.
I get what you're saying. If it's 15% THC.
You always have a loss.
Yeah.
But if you then have half a gram, it's something about maybe 50 up to 75 milligram. Okay.
I always thought it was a different, because I thought milligrams were obviously stronger because it's made with like extract or rosin. So I always tell people like that's stronger to begin with. So 0.3 I thought was like around 5 milligrams, 10 milligrams. like with cannabis. But that's what somebody told me that's the. Well, no, there's definitely like our cakes aren't that. Well, our brownies are stronger. They're both at 0.3, but our brownies are stronger than our muffins. We had Paul Smith, the Scouts comedian, on. His road manager or something had a brownie from my shop, and then I seen on their story later they were outside the gig and he's sitting there in the back of the car like, oh shit. And then I heard them talking about it on another podcast. The cameraman was like, that guy was meant to set up everything and he just sat in the back like this, stole down his head. And that was from a brownie from my shop, so they're not there. The brownies are definitely stronger, but I still don't think they're strong. I still think they're medium. I tell people medium strong and the muffins medium.
But then we come also back to it's different for everybody and on every day, you know, like if you don't eat enough and then you're super stressed,
it hits you harder.
And then maybe you would take the brownie and then you sit next to the stage because then your body is like,
the edibles turned on you.
No, I'm gonna be super tired. I'm like, no, I'm gonna chill.
Yeah, no, for sure.
What we can
It is. So when they do hit, you're just like, you're physically.
There is this layered cake at the Siberi, and I swear to God, that cake, when I eat it in whole, it makes me hear colors.
Your third eye is like,
really.
Where is this cake from?
Siberi. Thank you.
I hear so many different pronunciations of Siberian.
Yeah.
Eddie's want a drink to go with it?
I would like to take Coke.
Coke, yeah.
I take a cola too. I love it. Oh, it smells really good.
I'm gonna take a little one.
Oh, it's too different.
I don't like peanut butter.
I'll have the peanut butter one for sure.
It comes with Nutella, peanut butter caramel, or pure chocolate caramel, and we're also working on new flavors.
Oh, nice.
So if you need cookies for your shop, let's talk.
I'm loving the center.
I love it.
Amazing.
Yeah, they're like them lava cookies. I'd say these when they're warm, straight out of the oven, I'd say these are
you can also put them in the microwave for a few seconds and then they're like freshly baked again.
I love that you can taste the weed a bit. It's just with perfect herbs.
We always say that as well. Some people don't like it, and we've had edible makers on to go, oh, no taste. So we're like, okay, you know what I mean? I like that little. It just reminds you that there's weed there, you know.
And it's important, right?
Yeah.
Because otherwise you don't know. Like you just like have 2 packages of chips and you'll be like, why? I don't know which one. And you just eat it. But like this, at least you have like a little reminder.
Yeah.
And it's also like it's infused with cannabis. It's the taste of cannabis, you know. Like if you, it's still gonna be always a little taste from it. And I like it because I also don't like to eat edibles with distillate. I get like headache from it.
Okay.
So, and I also don't like the taste so much, like for example in gummies or something like this.
Okay.
I prefer them.
Yeah, it stays on your tongue for ages.
I prefer them the natural way, and this comes with a cannabis flavor, right?
Yeah. No, I like it.
We just love weed, huh? I just like eating this cookie, like, okay, I'm high, I'm high.
Hi, how are
Eating
you?
this cookie, I was just like going in my mind through everything that like weed made possible in my life, and you know, like everything that it brought us together, like all these adventures, all these people around the world that just like all the love for weed. And I just remembered that, and I was like, wow, just in this 1 second.
Yeah, like, this epiphany.
It is amazing.
No, it is.
Oh.
It is. And when we're even doing stuff like this, you're kind of like, whoa. Someone only said at 7:10, if I told my 16-year-old self this is what I'd be doing, I would not believe it.
No.
And you wouldn't.
Wait, your stoner is a job?
You know what I mean?
Full-time stoner.
Passion behind it. I'm meeting so many people that are on the same. It is.
No, that's
beautiful.
it.
Yeah.
And everyone, it's such it's like a hive mind of stoners. They all think with this common, common interest, or this. I don't know how the word exactly, but you know what I mean. It's they all have this, this understanding. They all get each other. You know what I mean. Like obviously there's a few that don't. You know what I mean, but. Overall, there's no drama. It's just everyone knows just here to get high, have a good time, you know what I mean? And like the hippie said, peace and love, you know what I mean? And they were right back then, and it's still true today. But it's so much more, like, I grown up in Ireland, how many sessions I was on drinking and all. they're the same. They're always the same people. Like if I went back to my local now, it would be the same people sitting at the same stools they were 10 years ago, probably having the same conversations about your man around the corner. No, it's like a time or fucking stand still, that kind of fucking
loop.
Frozen in time or something, you know what I mean? Where it's just everything is just on repeat, Groundhog Day. Nobody thinks of new ideas. Everyone does same thing, you know what I mean? We're over here, every conversation is new because they forget what they talked about last week, so they talk about it again this week. Whereas a stoner, you remember most of your conversations. You're like, no man, we've talked about this. Let's build on that, or let's talk about something different. So it's so much more fun and less drama as a stoner, you know what I mean?
I think it's like we're quite open-minded as a community. Like there's such a mix of us. You never really look at one group and be like they're all the exact same. It's quite a
that's the thing with drinkers, they all kind of gel together. I remember going to I think it was a going away party when everyone was leaving for Australia like 10 years ago, and every fella, like there's about 15 lads in a row, and all of them had a checkered shirt on. This was the new fashion, like them picnic looking blankets. And I just looked across and it was just different colours of the same thing, and like 5 years before that every fella had a pink t-shirt on with a V haircut and a diamond earring. And it's like fucking Barbie and Ken, do you know what I mean? All the men dressed the exact same, all the women dressed the exact same, because that's society's uniform, you know what I mean? You have to dress like this to be accepted by all these people, you know?
You have to be brave to be different.
And here you meet owners that think, dress, act totally different but are so similar, where they're all dressed the same but are, you know what I mean? It's just so mental.
And that's what you can see in Germany too. It's so beautiful that there's like so many different faces of stoner, of people who enjoy cannabis. So many people, older ladies who approach me when they see something that I'm wearing that like states weed or something, and like there's just so much resonance and positive resonance, and from people you wouldn't have thought, and you just really think like, we are like there's a lot of people who just really like cannabis.
I'd say a lot of old people are rediscovering it. You know what I mean? Now that it's legal, they're like, I haven't had a dealer for 30 years, you know what I mean? They're like,
come on, you have nothing to do, you got money, and you can just enjoy life without pain, without, you can eat again.
It's going to make old age so much better for so many reasons, for health reasons, for joy, for everything, you know what I mean?
The only
remind them of the good old days.
The only people crying is us at the end when everybody gets like 100 years and we have to see where we get our pension from, you know? Like, God damn it, now they're killing themselves.
Bring back the alcohol. Especially now to get rid of tobacco. If it's just cannabis, to be fucking people living forever. We don't need that.
We have a different problem.
We're gonna work until we're like 90. You're stoner. Look at you at 60, looking like you're 20. Just do it.
Young bones. If I can still smoke, I'll do it.
But I really have to say, like, and that's also a big thing what you still feel here. The Dutchies are just really friendly and just chilled, you know? Like the most of the people are
if you don't give them a problem, they won't have a problem, right? You know what I mean?
Like they're just nice. If you're talking Düsseldorf English in some areas, they look so confused and like, okay, now I have to talk English and a little bit. So they're still a big way, and they are also like a little bit on their own. The Düsseldorf are still friendly, but here it's just.
Well, in Amsterdam especially, I'd say in the outskirts, if you start speaking English, they're like, oh fuck. You know what I mean? But like here, Amsterdam, it's you call it expat dam, you know what I mean? Because it's more expats than it is locals, you know what I mean?
It is, it really is.
Also in Den Haag, the people are really nice. Like I guess also in Frankfurt at the beach, the people are just chilled, you know?
But I also have the feeling, like I really love the Dutch, I really love Holland, like it's my chosen home, and it's also a beautiful country, and people are just like, I don't know, more relaxed. I don't know what it is.
One of the best
just relax. They have coffee shops here, you know, they're just relaxed.
Well, even without the stoners, they've one of the best work to like relax ratio. Like they do 40 hours, like everyone else might do average 42, 43. The Dutch are like, we do our minimum hours, we spend as much time as we can socialising and having fun. So I think their work to life ratio is one of the best in the world. I've seen a thing on like the Dutch don't do overtime, you know what I mean? Like, this is we're done, we've done our week's work, now we get to enjoy ourselves and stuff. So as I said, if you don't give them problems, they'll just do their own thing and they're happy out, you know what I mean? Like, even the police over here, most places in the world you feel like the police are out to get you. Here the police just go by. Like, I can have whatever on me and I'm just like, hey, how's it going? You know what I mean? I've never had an interaction at all.
Interfering or causing a
that's it.
I seen literally police driving behind a drunk guy and just driving, like, he was like, no, I can't go home, basically, and like a big toddler walking on the street, and they were just driving behind him because they were like, well, no one's gonna hit him like this, we just drive him behind him until he gets home, because he said he's home there. Where else in the world
what if I see arrested? Now they get like, because some places have to have a certain amount of arrests, a certain amount of things, so like, there's an easy one for us. And over here, like, I've heard them, you see people fighting on the streets and they go up and go, we don't want to do paperwork, you don't want to get arrested, do you want to just leave this? And they're like, yeah, perfect, you know what I mean? That's the way to police, you know what I mean? Like, unless they're actually doing a crime, leave them, you know what I mean? And I like that, you know what I mean? That's the real freedom you get here. The weed is great, but to not be in fear while you have weed. Like Germany, you still have your restrictions. Spain, you can barely leave the clubs. Thailand, I'm sure it's crazy over there, you know what I mean? Canada's probably doing it right, because like Germany, they're a well-run country. You know what I mean?
Canada seems also very chill. I've never been, but they seem chill to me.
Yeah, they're very happy people. Yeah. You know what I mean? Any Canadians you meet, they're very just like jolly people. Yeah. So it's just like lovely in the dispensary.
It's like Americans without the guns.
Hey,
you know what I mean?
You know what I mean? You're just like, yeah, I'm going to get high today.
Yeah. No, Canadians are good, and it is a well-run country. Their medical system, their schools, their hospitals, you know what I mean, compared to America underneath, you know what I mean. The whole thing's a business, like, it's crazy.
Like, when you put it on the map with like Germany, America,
when
Thailand,
the map used to have Amsterdam as one pin.
Spread over of like places that are becoming legal to kind of like spread out, and then
that's it, Canada, Thailand, you know what I mean. And even there's a few, I think South Africa. When
UK, aren't there some talks there? There's talks at the minute.
Of UK?
We're not, I don't think like there at the minute, but isn't there talks in Europe?
I think there's always talks. I think it was Michael Fisher from Teesside said if the UK do it, they'll just drop it. They won't even say, we're doing it on the 1st of this. They'll just go, weed's legal today.
Good morning.
Once you tell people, especially with the German mentality is a bit more, let's follow the rules. I know even in England, and if they're doing it in Ireland, if they said in 6 months weed's legal, they're like, weed's legal, isn't it? That's it. I heard weed is legal. That's all I heard. You know what I mean?
That's how we're doing.
Arrest me and bring me to court in 7 months' time when it's legal. You know what I mean?
Like arranging the rules for you.
It takes you 6 months to get a summons. You know what I mean? So like, what you do? Call me to court when it's legal. I'll fight that. You know what I mean? So once they tell you in 6 months and 2 months it's legal, cunts are out on the street that day, plays. You know what I mean? So
I'm also seeing more and more medical going on in UK, or more openly going on. So I think that's the first incident that it's gonna be we're on the right way.
And a lot of people are advocating for it, which is beautiful. Anyone that has a license is literally like telling everyone, get a license, because it's such peace of mind.
But the thing with the education thing we're talking about, somebody was telling me that 40% of English police don't know there's a cannabis medical. So you can be arrested by a police officer who doesn't know.
That's the same in Germany.
Yeah, you know what I mean? This is the education. So there's people out there, police, that don't even know what they're doing, you know what I mean? And that shit's crazy.
But I think that is on us as well, as not just so much researching it, but also then someone needs to be in there being like there is, I don't know her name, there's meant to be a phenomenal female lawyer in Spain that like mainly deals with like cannabis cases.
Nice.
But we need them people that are like, okay, right, you have said it's decriminalised or it's legalised, but actually what way is it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, what are you doing at your end?
Also
you know what I mean?
Implement it into and across all headquarters.
Like you're giving these all the restrictions. What do you doing at your side to, you know what I mean, to meet them in the middle? Because the doctors need to be educated, the police need to be educated, all these people need to know how cannabis works, all this stuff, you know what I mean? So it's crazy, but it's all stepping stones, you know what I mean? Like, it's anytime you hear somebody, they've got legal for medical, or they're always like, yeah, but it's only this. It's something, you know what I mean? It's, in Ireland we have nothing, you know what I mean? So if you're every step stone, 5 years later, it's the next step. So it's, and as you say, when people learn, oh, that's not so bad. Like even the CBD, people are like, CBD's not so bad. What's the other stuff like? You know what I mean? Where before they're like, no, don't touch it at all. Stay away from it at all costs. So
the devil's lettuce.
It's the devil's lettuce.
It is. They've changed it.
But hey, Mom, I eat my vegetables.
Yeah, that's it.
Smoke them.
Smoke my greens 5 times a day.
Just basically heat them up in the oven.
Yeah, cooked vegetables. It should be fucking vegetables, fruit, weed, you know what I mean? The 3 daily intakes. If you have these 3 a day, you'll be fine. A bit of protein on top and you'll be grand.
It's mad. Like even one of the main nutrients that most human beings is lacking is magnesium, and it's like one of the least spoken on. And it's the same with cannabis. I think like cannabis, like magnesium, like a load of other things that we actually need, they've kind of just put on the taboo. Like for anyone that's bringing out herbal medicine, they make it very hard for them to do trials and tests on it to actually put it on the market as a product. So to even just a magnesium product to actually go through and get that out as a thing. What
do we get magnesium in? Like what's it most commonly found in?
In hemp, a lot of dark greens like spinach, seaweed and that kind of stuff.
Okay, that's what these are superfoods kind of thing.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. But I know you're an anti-veg person. You can blend that shit in.
I remember going on the health kick and I was doing that, just putting in whatever them. I thought, what's the most healthy thing? I'll throw that in there with a bit of fruit.
Get it in there. Because it's such a, magnesium is so good on so many levels for your mind. It's so calming. It relaxes your nervous system, even for sleep, everything. Anyone with anxiety, there's different types of. I think them things are things we all need.
You can obviously get magnesium tablets.
You can get supplements, but do check them because there's different types. One's more for your bowels and that kind of movement. One's for more your nervous system. No, so do check, just in case you're yourself.
Don't get your medical advice from sharing on the podcast.
No. Proper advice.
If you check, be sure to check with your GP before doing anything.
Don't try this at home.
I think we need to start taking a more holistic approach on our bodies and stop with the going straight to the doctor. Most problems are sorted with your diet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's as you said, the sugar. I know when I've had sugar first thing in the morning, I have a racy little heart. You know what I mean? I'm it does have a big effect.
It does.
The education on diet, them kind of things, I could think could heal a lot of health problems, mental and physical.
In all these thousands of years we survived and we did it with nature.
Yeah, that's it. No medicine.
And then suddenly it's
we did die a lot younger.
No, there was no. Wait.
And now more people are getting sick than ever. We never had a great long lifespan.
Back in the day, people died from just getting diarrhea. That was a death sentence back in the day. That was the AIDS and cancer of the Middle Ages.
What are you talking about then?
Most of humanity, you know what I mean? Most of the time up until 200 years ago.
Yeah, but see, that's when things start getting that bit cleaner.
Yeah, but there is obviously medicine's bad, but it has done a lot.
Definitely.
Eradicated polio, it's eradicated all this other stuff.
100%.
Stuff that did wipe out a lot of people. You know what I mean?
But we need to get the naturals part more into it, and we need to take the money out. Education, and we need to get the investment in the science. Yeah.
As long as they're making new diseases just to treat new diseases, the world's fucked. You know what I mean? So it's. But there is medicine that is needed, you know what I mean, and it has changed, saved the world. And people used to die in their 40s and 50s. That's why women.
Or by childbirth.
Women used to have children as soon as they had their period, just because you're not going to live that long. You know what I mean? You need to start reproducing soon. And we've got to a point now where you don't need to do that because that's crazy.
Now we all get 100 at weed, eh?
Yeah. But back then, anything could kill you. Yeah. Supposedly mosquitoes are
they're one of the
50% of all people have ever died from mosquito bites because they just keep giving them diseases. It's crazy.
And itchy.
I'm lucky.
Yeah, at least these days they're not carrying as many diseases because there's not as many around, you know what I mean? So all you get is an itch.
And so what else is happening? What's happening with weed?
Yeah, So there's a lot of noise on the market. Definitely, there's a lot of search for everything related to cannabis. For where do I find my weed?
A lot of people want to be educated on it.
What's going on in the medical market is that there's like an easier access to the medical market now, which is like giving on one side, like the people they are like, oh, this is too easy, or oh, now all the stoners becoming medical patient, is this even right, and stuff like that. So there's a lot happening, and from my side I must say that I think that many people who use cannabis on a more regular basis are probably using it for a medical reason, even if you don't talk to a doctor about it. But again, now is the time for everyone. You can be open. You can just talk to your doctor, and probably it will be a doctor who doesn't have no idea.
Doctors? That's what I was going to say, yeah.
But probably you find your right doctor and can be like on an open basis with him, and so I think it's
and you just go to a regular doctor if you're going.
You can do that, but again, it can be that the doctor is like uneducated in that kind of sense, or like against it and being like, I will not prescribe your drugs. It can be still the case, but we see that there's more and more doctors opening up because they don't have to be afraid anymore, and there's also specialist doctors, and there's also like websites where you can just like fill in a questionnaire, and then if everything is all right, you get your meds. So there's different kind of ways, and if you look that there's like at the moment you can only home grow, or you can wait for the shops, but weed is legal, and you have the medical side. Then medical is definitely a better way to access it than to get it right now from the black market.
Yeah, of course.
Because that's also still there. So
until it becomes regularly available.
Definitely, like this is not a stop. We need shops in Germany. Like we need an educated environment where it's like at least handled as alcohol. Or in Switzerland. In Switzerland they have a beautiful. They do it beautifully. They have these tests where you can just like sign up, and then you can buy whatever. You can buy edibles. You have educated stuff. You can buy flour.
You have a dispensary there.
Yeah, it's like a dispensary. It's like a real
In Switzerland.
In Switzerland, they're super for there. Yeah.
That's just medical though, yeah.
No, they have medical, yes. And then they have these studies that they call like here the WIT project in a kind of way. Like it's a study together with universities, and then people can sign up, and then they see like how much I'm consuming, how does it affect me, all these different kind of things, and
so just regular people, like if we were there, we could just sign up to do this kind of experiment. And some people have access to all this.
Yeah, and the important thing is that you need to be a smoker before, so they don't want people to start with cannabis.
They're not encouraging newbies.
Exactly.
I get that.
And that you're not pregnant, and otherwise you can get into these studies and just access a shop.
So that's kind of a loophole of getting a cannabis fucking membership into a cannabis club. Like, that's crazy. I'm here to do a study. I'll take some of them, 2 edibles, 2 grams
of science.
Research.
Basically it is like every shop is connected to research.
Oh well, if I'm doing my bit, I'm happy to help. You know what I mean? Like.
Mom, I'm getting stoned for research.
It's science.
And then what way is used for medical? Is it by post? Do you have medical pharmacies, or it's all post?
Yeah.
Okay,
so
like the UK.
That's not all post. So there's every pharmacy can order weed.
Okay.
And give it to you.
Pharmacy?
Every regular pharmacy, if you have a prescription. Not every pharmacy does it. So there's like there's some pharmacies that specialize on it, where you get it like faster.
But they wouldn't have it sitting
cheaper.
there like a dispensary.
They do. Like you don't go in there and you take a look at it, because the doctor gives you the prescription with what you get. Like for example, you get a White Widow and how many grams. So they really write the strain on it, and then if you go to the pharmacy, you just give them the prescription, and they weight it, and then they give it to you. Or you can order it online. You can look on weed, like what is prescribed to me, what strain, how much does it cost.
You get, or is it just
only with the doctor?
Yeah, the doctor decides it. The doctor decides it together with you.
Can you try Kush this week? He's like, no, that's not for you.
Well, if the doctor knows very well with the strains, and that's what we hope. Again, weed does help with this, because you can read it all up, but and it's also one of our goals. So we're going to try help people to just understand better with terpenes, with the strains, whatever it does to you, or what other people say it does.
I always said Germany would go that kind of, we're doing it for the medical, you know what I mean? Like, this is, if you want it for medicine, this one works best for you, have this one kind of, you know what I mean? Or,
but who doesn't need medicine, eh?
No, but like America grows, let's make it the strongest, let's make it the tastiest, where Germany's like, let's make it the most efficient, if we want it for medicine, let's make it do what it's meant to do. If it tastes good, bonus. If it doesn't, who cares? We're making medicine here, kind of.
I mean, a lot of all the weed is, like most of the weed is shopped in from Canada, Denmark, Portugal, South Africa.
Yeah.
So it's also many like Kelly genetics in that kind of sense, and it had
so it's not even
high.
grown in Germany yet.
No. You can find really good, nice strains.
But do you know what? I think Saucy Whiff says on the UK medical, they get theirs from Germany. So the UK grows medical, sends it to Canada. Germany grows medical, sends it to England.
Well, there is some German growings, there is some growings.
Some of them ones, for sure.
Different countries.
Yeah, his was like North Macedonia, Canada, Germany, all these mad countries. So in the UK, if you have a medical, you can get up to 125 grams a month, I think you can get. You can go on, there's 40 to 50 different online pharmacies. Each one has a list of weed. If you're with one pharmacy and it doesn't have what you want, you can write to them and say, can you send my prescription to this pharmacy? They'll send it in a day or two. Then you can go to that pharmacy and order any strain, like 10 grams of this, 10 grams of that, and multiple choices on the English medical. So it's totally different. Users are like, this is the one that works for you. You get this.
Yeah, but basically on the other side, it's also the same, because you can talk to your doctor. You have some kind of decision, and what we do is like we list it, and you can reserve it with also again more than 40 pharmacies, and just like check where's the price, where's the best condition, whatever. So it's pretty easy. It is easy. It's pretty straightforward and open.
And what's the website for that?
Weed.de.
Weed.de.
Yeah. Also, if you have some strains that you want to write about, write and share your knowledge. It's so important. We really try to make a big database there where we can help people, doctors.
Because it's great to have I've done it, like the test, and to understand. But then you want that feedback from your people. Really, it is. Even then, I think for people that are new to it or stepping in, they're trusting you, and then also having a feedback from others. I'm like, okay, that's the kind of effects.
You can probably feel the effects more. Like, I really felt this off of this, or I really got this feeling off that. Where we're like, just stoned at this stage. Like, I'm very bad for. Oh, there's a nice little high off there. That's a bit more stony. I don't get all that. But especially newbies would definitely be like, oh, there was a nice chill off that, or that may be a bit more energetic, or a bit more this. So that kind of feedback is exactly what you need, because then that helps other people down the line and stuff. So
or some goes more in the body, or you feel it more in your head.
No, for sure. And then you build all that together and you go, right, a lot of people are saying this, some people think that, you know what I mean? Then one person thought something.
I think the smallest part of society is probably taking it to just get high. There's the bigger part that's taking it for something different, to make me more creative, to make me more focused, waked up, whatever you're using it for. Most of them are not just like maybe at the beginning.
All the time, like us.
There's something that you search for, and it's so much easier if we talk about it.
100%.
It is. I think, as mad as it, we were in a coffee shop one time. There was this like young kid, about like maybe 21, and he was very enthusiastic. He was asking me and my partner like loads about cannabis questions, and like, what's this and what do you think, and do you like this strain? And then he said at one point, he's like, I can't speak to my friends about it because they kind of won't think it's cool. They just smoke because they smoke. You know what I mean? It's like, I got the best.
Geeky on it, nerdy and science.
Whereas he was so passionate and excited about cannabis, and any bit of knowledge that was getting dropped on him, he was taking
absorbing it all in.
You know
with
what
a
I mean?
sponge.
So if there's a space that people know that they can go and get that's beautiful.
And talk to other people who are passionate about
it.
No, I'd see that at home. Like, if your mates, they all, as I said, everyone thinks and acts the same. You have a hive mind, and then somebody starts getting passionate about this, and all they talk about is that. Like, this fella, you know what I mean? Like, it's taking it too far.
Understanding what your strain is. Like, at the minute, it's all these Cali packs and this kind of stuff that I think a lot of people feel they need to be smoking that.
It's so funny. If you talk to Americans, they literally laugh about us that we have their shit Cali over here.
I laugh about it every week. I've been laughing about that for a year now. I've said it on every podcast. There's never been A grade Cali weed in any coffee shop in Amsterdam. Maybe B grade in some. The rest is C grade, and it's 3 or 4 times the price you pay in California for it. It's just like, I bought €10 weed. That's nice. I don't buy much Cali, but we go to sessions. You give us free weed, all this stuff. I've tried all the types of Cali. They're best stuff. They're winning stuff. And I bought weed for a tenner that was nicer. You know what I mean? So it's all a gimmick. It's all bullshit. Don't get me wrong. Some of it's nice. Some of it is well grown. But it's not worth €30 a gram, €25 a gram, or whatever they're fucking charging. Like in California, you get an 8 for like €50 or something like that. You know what I mean? Or I don't know.
Put your money aside and go to LA.
Yeah, that's it. Be cheaper to get a flight over and back and just stock up.
There's also really nice Dutch grown here.
Yes,
so
and that's coming back
they grow up.
And if they could grow the way Cali grows.
And also like Tropicana cherry and the really nice strains too.
Tropicana cherry.
Grown in Dutch with the Cali genetics or something like this. I think it's super nice.
Now, if the Dutch could grow with the same freedom they had in California, then we'd be like some of the best weed in the world, 100%.
It is. Yeah, no, I'm hearing a lot of people, like especially Dutch people, getting excited again. They're like, there's Dutch food, Dutch flower.
And the Dutch people excited is already something, eh?
Takes a lot.
It's not what we sound like. I say this is such a crazy podcast, like full Irish culture.
Some people will be happy to watch this. Sorry,
what's happening? What am I listening to?
Stuff. But come here, I have to go to work soon, so I think we're going to have to wrap it up soon. But thank you so much, Nyke, and
really
to fuck it out. And stay hungry. I nearly said stay high. Big thanks to the fairy as always. If you're still watching, thanks, likes and subscribe and all that bullshit. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Did you like the cookie?
Oh, it was beautiful. Yeah, that was gorgeous.
Honestly, you hit up this lady. We're Happy
stay
Smile.
hungry.
Happy Smile coffee shop.
Is that where you can get them? What coffee shops are you in?
It's now not like settled, but a lot in Den Haag, and I'm also trying here in Amsterdam.
Okay.
So
Beautiful. Yeah, no.
Follow Stay Hungry anyway.
on Instagram, and I think they are coming a few shops.
Yes, definitely. Do check these ladies out.
Thank you so much, guys. You're
Thank you
legends.
so much for the nice time. I really enjoyed it.
Yes.